Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I have the brand new Audi S8 with me. This one is a refresh model. It was launched in March 2022, so just fresh off the box. It combines luxury and performance, and it features visual as well as equipment upgrades. Let's take a closer look. The Audi S8 welcomes you by raising the whole car once you open the door, as you can see. And similarly, it goes down when you walk away.
Digital matrix LED headlamps are standard on top-spec Vorsprung models. This headlamp technology was first introduced in 2019 by Audi on the e-tron Sportback. Over 1.3 million micromirrors, traditionally used in video projectors, make up part of the digital matrix LED headlamp, enabling them to project like a video rather than a traditional beam.
Power is supplied by a 4-litre twin-turbo V8, developing a whopping 571 brake horsepower and 800 Newton meters of torque. Top speed is electronically limited to 155 miles per hour and 0 to 60 time 3.8 seconds. Now let's hear what it sounds like. Yeah, it doesn't rev past the 4,000 mark. Pedal to metal. But yeah, that's due to a soft limiter, and that's why it sounds the way it sounds. The new S8 features innovative digital OLED taillights with proximity indication function and varying. So essentially, if you hit a car within a 2-meter distance, the lights will come on automatically. A massive boot space. Wow, probably fit a couple of human beings in here. No exaggeration. And then yeah, you have your toolkit for a flat tire. But wow, that is a very impressive boot space. Now let's take a closer look at the rear seats.
The interior gains a new rear seat entertainment option. Roomy and multi-adjustable seats for both front and rear, so you can also recline your rear seats, which is great. Comfortable seats all around, especially in the rear. There's plenty of support around the upper and lower body, and more than enough support to retain that on the longest of journeys.
Okay, over here we have a control panel, and in here you can control everything from heated seats to ventilated seats to seat angling, so you can recline the back or you can go forward. You can also control the interior lighting as well as the climate control, you name it basically. You have no excuse to run out of battery in the S8, as you have ample of charging options in the rear seats. You have a 12 volt, you have a 230 volt outlet or socket that you can plug into, and then you have dual USB-C ports as well in the rear armrest.
The dashboard is dominated by a 3-screen setup, which might look a little intimidating to newcomers, but it is reasonably simple and easy to use. Audi's 12.3-inch virtual cockpit digital gauge cluster is standard, as is the 10.1-inch upper infotainment system and the 8.6-inch lower display. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and onboard Wi-Fi hotspot and in-dash navigation are all standard. The interface is touch-based, with much space on the center console given over to two twin landscape touchscreens. The top one does navigation, media and so on, while the bottom one looks after the climate controls and serves as a keyboard or a trackpad for entering destinations into the GPS. Audi employs three main systems to overcome the limitations of a car as big and as heavy as the S8. The first of the three main systems, tasked with rewriting the laws of physics, is Audi's predictive active suspension, which draws power from the 48-volt electrical system and uses a forward-facing camera to scan the road ahead for speed bumps, potholes and so on. The theory is the car knows there's this bump coming
so
up,
light and nimble,
so it can prepare its air suspensions to cope. Predictive active suspension uses electromechanical actuators to lift or lower each wheel individually, enabling active body control in all driving situations. And then you've got all-wheel steering. At low speeds, the rear axle works with the front, turning in the opposite direction to cut the more than 5 meter long S8's turning circle by about a meter. At high speeds, the rear axle turns in the same directions as the front for better stability. And the final piece of the puzzle is what Audi calls the sport differential, which vectors torque across the rear axle. And the results are quite impressive actually. Pleasingly neutral, in fact. The four-wheel steering feels admirably natural. It really tips the S8 into tight corners, and Quattro helps it hang on sportingly, and the V8 means it emerges at the other side at speeds once reserved only for serious performance cars. Meanwhile, the suspension is working over time, keeping the S8 uncannily level, however rudely you treat it. It doesn't squat on the acceleration, dive on the braking, or roll whatsoever in the bends. It is an enjoyable car to drive in its own way, and unreasonably rapid point to point. To summarize, the S8 is agile to drive, but its performance doesn't compromise its luxuriousness. It is a true stealthy car that goes under the radar. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.